anywhere in this country. So if you tell him that, you know what, you are a tribal guy, if we give you the ticket, then you are not going to win. He cannot believe that.
Do you think Ruto is tribal?
Very tribal. In fact,
why then do you think that if Gachagua vies alongside President William Ruto is going to be re-elected and Gachagua is not going to be elected?
It is because we will have two bad guys, but then Rigathi Gachagua has presented himself as the worst of the two.
Why? Because if you look at the 2024 Gen Z protest, the person who is accused of presiding over the murders of the young people, the person who was in charge was not Gachagua, it was President William Ruto. The person who was in charge of economy, if people are crying that there is no money, it is William Ruto, not Rigathi Gachagua. What instances has Gachagua presented himself as a worst leader compared to President William Ruto? We
cannot really enhance the mediocrity we've seen in Kenyan politics moving forward. Why? If you look at the Tukokadi campaign, my friend who was the founder of Tukokadi campaign said, well, we may be saying Tukokadi, but Gachagua is not an option. And people really had a problem with that. And the problem is this. When we went to the Gen Z Maandamanos, people tend to show us and claim like it was the first Maandamanos ever to happen in the history of Kenya. We have had other Maandamanos, like ile ya sufuria ya Kioni.
Similar to that one. I feel like that was the first. What do you mean?
It was huge, but the sufuria one was also quite a good Maandamano.
No, I feel like when they say that was a different kind of Maandamano, we're talking about one that we did not need Raila.
We did not need anyone to mobilize us.
It was the young, the people themselves told themselves.
It was the only point where we impeached Parliament because it stands impeached from that day. My issue is when he was in government, we have not forgotten that he told us when you go to the streets, you do not expect the police to come and kiss you. He said that. It's in public record. He went to a graduation. I don't know if it was in Kenyatta University. Yeah.
Wasn't he talking about Raila's...
no, he was talking about the protesters. He went to... That was before the Gen Z. When we went to the Gen Z protests, which we were protesting the finance bill, when they voted yes, the parliamentarians, he called them and he congratulated them for their courage. Rigathi Gachagua.
No, I think you're confused.
You know, when the person who invited
I believe because we are... all the files are in this station.
I think we are confusing.
Rigathi Gachagua congratulated the members of parliament for their courage.
Why didn't they write books with the president when the last year's No.
They may not have been in good books, but because you can find the records.
We are going to find out.
He congratulated the members of parliament for voting yes
for the finance bill.
For the finance bill. So Gachagua was pro-finance bill. So Gachagua is a politician who is only supporting the people because of his convenience. Assuming he was still in government, this guy even begged President Ruto na kuomba. He apologized. Unisamehe tuendelee na serikali. We need to call out the hypocrisy in our politicians. So we are not really picking out Rigathi Gachagua and saying...
I want to correct you because I feel like you are confusing us and our audience in terms of Gachagua congratulating Kenyan MPs.
Yeah.
This did not happen during the Gen Z cycle. Remember, at that time, he was not the deputy president. He congratulated during the 2023 finance bill. But here we are talking about 2024.
When was Rigathi Gachagua impeached?
2024.
Which month?
October.
But he congratulated for the June 2023 during the 2023 finance bill.
Now that is one. I want to give you time.
We
want to give you time before the
we check. We are going to
you check. He congratulated them also during the 2024 finance bill.
Before he was impeached.
Before he was impeached.
Okay, but you agree that he's a force to reckon with.
He's a force to reckon with.
You also agree that his party is growing exponentially.
And the fact that in Mount Kenya right now, it's becoming a reality that for you to get elected,
you must.
The people are really trying to push an idea that go to DCP. But there is, as we said, I want us to be fair on both sides, Grace. We said that the people are learning. In the same way, there is a growing population of people in Mount Kenya who are also saying, hatutachagua chama, tutachagua individuals. And Kioni recently said that the biggest threat to their Jubilee candidates will not be UDA. It will be DCP. Why? Because DCP is growing at a very fast rate.
Sure.
Yet it's a new party. So we are going to find a situation where the people of Mount Kenya, there is a young population that is coming out and saying, hatutafuata chama, tutatafuta individuals. And now we want to be academic a bit. If you look at developed democracies, the likes of the US, the UK, we have ideological parties. So what happens is if you are in UK, you are either in Labour or you are in the other party. If you're in US, you are either a Republican based on your conservative values or principles or ideology, or you are a Democrat based on your liberal views, free economy and everything else that aligns you as a liberal. Now, in Kenya, we are a very young democracy that is still grounded on individuals. So we do not have ideological political parties. Political parties in Kenya are based on not just individuals, because even the likes of Wanjigi have parties. They are based on tribal chiefs.
Even Zafina party.
The popularity of them is based on tribal chiefs. And that is why we may say that parties are owned by individuals, but that's not enough. You have to be a tribal chief to command authority with a party. That is why you may have a party. Even myself, I have had a party, but the tribal chiefs are the ones who get.
So now let me ask you, given that you understand all this, the last time I checked, you were a member of the National Democrats Party.
Yeah.
The TND.
TND party.
So is your party leader a tribal chief, and what are you doing about it in 2027? Are you planning to join the party that belongs to a tribal chief to seek
political power?
Yes.
No, one of the things that I have said, today morning I interacted with someone called John C.W. I have interacted with many of the young people of this country. And the advantage of going to a political election twice and unsuccessfully so has taught me many things. So in 2027, I have two options. One of the options is become fully tribal and desire to just occupy political office. If my desire in 2027 is to occupy political office, or maybe become the senator of Nyeri or the MP of Nyeri town, the best bet I have now is to make sure that I go to a Munyoro village and declare allegiance to His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua. Trust me with that, and going to the ballot, it is going to give me an edge automatically in the next elections. I have another option of saying, okay, I may get the seat, but I'm never going to make any change. Because why? If you are elected under one of these tribal parties, you are not going to make any change as a legislator. And this is the reason. If you look at the members of parliament who are elected through UDA, they were whipped through UDA party to go and vote yes for the finance bill. In fact, the one member of parliament that maybe Gachagua doesn't like right now was the one who stood with the people, Koimburi, that time. He voted no to the finance bill, by the way. So I just want to show you the lack of genuinity in Kenyan politics. The fact that now the Koimburi who stood with the people is apparently now an enemy of the clan or of the ni adui ya Rorere ama adui ya Wakikuyu.
Is a turncoat.
But at the time when we needed him most to vote no to the finance bill as the people, he did it. So I just want to tell you that going into the next election, I have those options. That option is, if I'm too desperate to become a member of parliament, I'll use that option. But then I want to become a member of a change movement in Kenya. And this is a journey. And I want to inspire Grace and tell her there is hope that we can have a better Kenya. A Kenya free from Ruto, a Kenya free from Wamunyoro, a Kenya free... a Kenya free from tribal chiefs, because it is unfortunate, by the way, the fact that in this wonderful Unfiltered show, we have had a whole probably half hour discussing the fact that we are at the hands of two tribal chiefs, His Excellency Rigathi and His Excellency Ruto, for the future of this country and the young people of this country. It's unfortunate.
Do you want to get power or you don't?
You may want to get power, but I do not want to be one of the rest. I do not want to be one of those who got power and did nothing with it.
But you have
I want to
admitted-
believe in a revolution.
But you have admitted that the easiest way to win is
The easiest way to win
to allege to
A certain
give-
party,
yes.
even
To allege
for a certain region.
in a certain region. But how much change are you going to do? You're going to join the same systems that we allegedly impeached in 2024. So the
No,
journey...
but you cannot speak on them. Maybe that is not what.
So the big question, Grace, is: are leaders get elected to for change
or to serve their political chiefs?
They just want to get what you call the privilege? You see,
Yeah.
I
think that is an individual's decision, personal decision.
So Steve's decision is not to.
My decision is not to go for the privileges that come.
Haven't
with
you
political
seen
power.
posters where someone is saying, vote for me so that I can get a car and build a house and build a mansion?
Basically, even those
Which is
who
not a
have,
bad thing.
Yes,
Even
tell
those
us
who have-
exactly why we are voting for you and we will
even
vote.
those who have, even those who have, they also go for that political office to enrich themselves more. And I want us to come here and say, okay, Wamunyoro, we really don't even need to address him as a bad person. He's not a bad person. Let's be honest. Neither is Ruto a bad person. These are just victims of the system that developed them. You do not expect Ruto not to promote corruption. He is a beneficiary and a product of a corrupt system. Ruto, from the beginning, the YK92, he was built. The fertilizer that created him was the corrupt system of politics that was around the Moi regime. The same with the likes of Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka. All these guys that we have a tainted past, and they have a past that is held to KANU. So what are we saying as the people? How much can we despair and say that these guys and the system of politics which they propagate will continue to rule us? If we let UDA or the Gachaguas and the Rutos of this country to continue ruling us, the likely nature is that they will create new Gachaguas and new Rutos in the name of the likes of Murkomen, in the name of the likes of Medu, who have been mentored. When they say they have mentored them based on the same foundation they were established on. And that is why I'm saying, unless we are deliberate about changing this country, and we go to this ballot and say, we do not want either of these two sides. We want a third side. And it's unfortunate in Kenya that the likes of Maraga, who probably represent the direction we would want Kenya to go, where you are voted based on your integrity, they really don't get traction. Their campaigns don't get traction. And why do they lack traction? Because the people of Kenya, and as I say, they are the greatest disappointment to the future of Kenya, have already been tied to the tribal narrative that is around the Kenyan politics. And that is why you are seeing, much as I also do not feel like the Linda Mwananchi team may also represent 100% of where we are going, the reason why the Linda Mwananchi team is gaining traction is because they are coming out and purporting or coming out as a side that does not believe in the traditional way of politics and the traditional system of political of ethnic mobilization. So what does that tell you? Why is it coming out as a popular one? And if you look at the TIFA research as well, the Linda Mwananchi is highly popular, more popular than the Linda Ground. Is it Linda Ground?
Yes, Linda Ground.
So the issue is, if we had a presidential candidate by now, it would have been very clear that it is either Gachagua or Kalonzo or Natembea versus Ruto in 2027. We would be mobilizing the people alongside that line. But what happens when, and we have learned, we need to learn from NASA and Azimio. When Azimio, because I was in Azimio One Kenya coalition, when we went and joined Azimio with Kalonzo Musyoka's One Kenya Alliance, there was an issue where Kalonzo knew he had been the running mate over time. But now here comes an interview process that has been brought up where he has to be really humiliated through an interview process. And his people were telling him, run for this thing. And if he ran, we would have had a runoff. And that runoff, Kalonzo Musyoka would have decided who would have become the president. So he
ought to run so that
he took the humble pie and said, I'm joining Raila. he takes 2 weeks, 2 months to election. He says he's taken 2 weeks break to go and reflect on the decision he made. And what did that do to his backyard, his eastern region? The eastern region people said, mmetufanyia mtoto wetu hivi, hatutatokea uchaguzi vile huwa tunatokea. And so the votes that Raila would have gotten in eastern were less than what he was traditionally getting. So what I'm saying is, the opposition's lack of a candidate as well. And if you look as well in 2017, Ruto and Uhuru were going mocking them. Hawa sisi tushaamua njia yetu. Hawa wengine bado wanazurura, hawajaamua ni nani. And this is what he will also, the campaign will also do this time. So there is a chance that a disjointed opposition will guarantee Ruto a second term. And that is the greatest danger we have now. And the fact that we will also have a young population who are split. Do we follow Sifuna? And Sifuna himself said it, that if the opposition does not unite from the Linda Mwananchi to the United Alternative Government, then they are going to give Ruto a second term. The issue here is they must unite. And if anyone bolts out with at least 2 million votes and leave this conversation where people are saying that watu watachagua opposition na landslide. Elections right now, the tools that are used to mobilize people around the election are still very much alive. As I said, we've started the journey, but we are at 30%. I am not very ambitious that we may not do it. We may do it and succeed in this election. But in the next 2 election cycles, I look forward to a place where, as the Moi guys get out of politics, we may have a fresh brand of politics. But until then, these guys will continue mobilizing their people along tribal lines. Don't be lied that Mudavadi will not go and mobilize their people with Weta along the tribal lines of being Luya. Don't be lied that Ruto will not go to his tribe and tell them we are Kalenjins. These guys hate us if we give it to them. So tribal politics will be at play.
Now unadhani zitaisha lini those tribal politics?
Those tribal politics will be at play if we, the people of Kenya, can come out and reject.
And do you think they are willing to reject?
I believe a huge portion is willing to. We must never underestimate the determination of the Kenyan people. As much as we say that they are doing it badly and disappointing us, there is a determination by a population that is coming up, especially of the young generation. And that is why, as I said, if there was no that hope, Sifuna would not be getting any kind of support.
But Sifuna is joining the United Opposition. They're actually in Nyeri. Are you aware they're in Nyeri?
Yeah, they're in Nyeri today. And in fact, I've seen Sifuna working with kids. Kids are identifying him.
And so, he said he's automatically going to join the United Opposition so that together they can win. So do you think, when is this hopeful or generation going to change the political arithmetic? 2027, 2032, 2042, 2050?
I believe by 2042 we will have change. You see,
2042
by the Sifunas, to think that Sifuna also represents the new face of Kenya that we really want, we would also be lying to ourselves, because he's a product of the old face of Kenya. It is that old face of Kenya that has produced him.
So,
because if you tell me that Sifuna would have won Senate without Raila's backing, then
he could not have
done that. He had gone to his own place. They had not voted for him. So he needed Raila. So the people who are there
we need to remove
are products of kingpins. Until tutoe kingpin wote, tuchukue Gachagua, tuteleke nyumbani. Uhuru
na watoto wao.
Not just their children, their political children.
Yes.
And their political products. Kina Medho. Don't tell me that anyone who has been a product of the current guys can do better than that.
Sasa kwani hiyo Grace itakuwa lini then? Kama tutatoa ndio tuache history yote.
Me if you ask me, ila kuongea tu kweli, tuambiane tu kweli.
Tuambiane tu kweli vile.
This is unfiltered.
And unaona, in Kenyan politics, tribalism, I don't think it will end anytime soon. That is a fact, whether we like it or not. Whether we continue
2042 there is hope. Look at it. The young voters coming up. They are really not taking the tribalism as much. And you'll see, even in Mount Kenya, we'll not have a SUTI election of governor to president to MCA.
Hey.
Trust me.
Mount Kenya.
In Mount Kenya, much as getting a DCP ticket makes you very popular, we are going to see positions where if someone doesn't get that ticket, and they are popular and loved by the people and they relate and associate well with the people, they are going to get elected.
Let me
I
ask
think
you.
that is what I'm like apana.
We are going to
In
have
Kenyan
people-
politics, apana. It is just because mimi nakujanga hapa na umenizoea since Moi's time. Umenizoea mimi ni mtu wenye, I'm always helping. Then tunajua siasa ya Kenya it's all about nini chama na mtu.
Yeah.
Mtu mwenye who are you really following?
Yeah.
Who is your head? I'm just giving an example. Let's say, for example, me I'm running an DCP in Mount Kenya region. Wewe umekuwa number 2 always.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Kama huyu dollar line wa huko.
Yes. Umekuwa kabisa always na umeona. You mean you're going to, unataka kuniambia people will vote for you because they love you and forget about me juu ya chama.
Who is
Because I
coming
feel like
on?
that is not even happened during the Mbeere North. Ilikuwa tu ni chama. Ilikuwa ni juu Wambodhene is a good person or the other one was a bad person. It was all about the chama.
There's
And that is why the state sends nini yao yote huko. Make sure chama brings that nini back home. Whether the candidate is a good one or not, whether ata perform ama amekuja kujenga nyumba or not.
Yeah.
I once sat with an old politician who told me that when Uhuru Kenyatta gets out of politics, there is going to be something called the establishment of an obscure monarchy. An obscure monarchy was to mean that we will not have a vivid kingpin. But Gachagua came and challenged that proposition because we were allegedly supposed to be left without a kingpin or with multiple kingpins. And that was the ideal idea that I believe Ruto had when impeaching Rigathi. He probably felt that there would be multiple kingpins. A kingpin
Kama
from
counter-based
Murang'a.
kingpins.
Yeah, like it is in the
Kirinyaga.
Luhya land. But this guy has surprised us. Suddenly, everyone in Mount Kenya is listening to him. But what will happen in 2027 is this. Number one, of the seats the United Opposition will get, this guy is definitely going to get at least 60 to 70% of them.
Who?
Gashagua's party.
Okay.
The rest will be divided among DCP
Themselves.
and
PLPs.
PLP.
TND.
TND.
By the
because
way, does it
Jubilee.
exist, Bado?
TND is existing and TND will be part of the United Opposition.
Oh.
We will be part of the United Opposition.
But you are chairman. The party leader holds a government position.
You see, he holds...
Ama hata yeye ana mass exodus.
No, him is holding a position
Luo Madhe.
where he is serving at Karo. And by the way, he has been voted as the best performing.
When is he
chairperson.
exiting
Exiting.
to join the United Opposition?
I may not predict when he is exiting because those are internal strategies. But the reality is as we as a party associate with the ideals of the United Opposition. And
You have a
we
position
may
in
also have a
TND.
presidential candidate as well.
Do you have a position in TND?
I have a position in TND. I'm the deputy party leader.
So the deputy party leader of TND has told us
That they are joining.
We are going to join the United
So
Opposition.
we're just waiting for
and,
the...
and by the way, we are also going to come out. We will see
When
a
are
press
you
conference
when are
very
you
soon.
joining the-
Within the next 4 or 3 months, we are going to have a very powerful press conference where we are going to declare our
But why
allegiance.
do you want to join the opposition and yet you're saying that if the opposition fronts Gachagua, Ruto is going to win? So why really do you want to go
This
to
is
the
what we are
opposition?
doing. We are here being unfiltered. I am giving
Yes.
you my honest
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
And that's why I'm
About
asking
things.
you, in
Yes.
all honesty, as the deputy party leader of the party, why would you want your party to move in a direction where you're sure you guys may not form the next government
Now,
because of
once we get to the table of the United of Alternative Government, we will now be able to come and place those feelings on the
and,
table.
and are you supposed to place the
We're
feelings
going to
when
find from
there or
within.
before?
No, we will do it before and after. Once we are there, we will tell them that in our opinion, this is the right candidate for us.
Yan Derry is saying we want to fight from within.
We will fight from within. So we are not really going to say that we believe that we don't believe that the current government is doing things in the right way.
But your party leader,
The chairman.
the chairman, is
chairperson
is
for
serving the
The chairperson. We as a party
the government
advised
that
him.
you feel is not
we advised him that and we advised him and we felt our chairperson is a hard worker who has a huge experience in the agricultural field, And when he got a chance, this is a person who has developed his own breeds of chicken, coffee. So when we got there, we advised him. I'm not even going to that. We advised him that you're going to serve the Kenyan people. Go and serve them in the best way possible. And this is why I disagree with Gachagua. When Gachagua was in government, it was all right for a Mount Kenya person to be in government. Suddenly he leaves and he starts inciting everyone against who is left in government. I want to see, this guy is ingenuine as well. He's not really an honest politician.
But I also think you are ingenuine. Ask me why.
Why?
Because umetuambia vizuri sana hapa ya kwamba mnataka kujoin opposition.
Yeah.
Then the party leader anaserve Kalo kama chairman wa Kalo.
But you are here with the deputy party leader. The deputy party leader in the structures of the party.
But then ukatuambia that political parties in Kenya runs around personality based.
Yeah.
Sawa. Na ukasema Mount Kenya ukiwa na tiketi ya DCP
inakupea
an edge. Sasa chama yako inataka kuingiaje opposition?
Itapata the other 40%.
Na itapata aje? Umesema is among the parties that will share the remaining
40%.
Now, the 40% was being shared before we joined. You can be assured that if we join, and you can hear the name, the new Democrats. And so I have said I represent the new face of Kenya. So we will be coming to represent the new face of Kenya. The young people will associate with us. And majorly, by the way, other than maybe the chairman who will be running as an old person, you can be sure 90% of our candidates will be young. But
can I also ask something? We're talking about Mount Kenya and the DCP party and now other affiliate parties as you've talked about.
You are affiliating, they are making them look tiny.
It's because you said they are going to share the 50% and DCP will carry the 60%.
That was before we joined. If we join, we are changing this narrative. The moment we declare like this, because you can imagine.
Okay, meanwhile, before then it's 60-40. Now the others are getting 40.
We could be 50-50,
yeah. For now it's 60 for Mkonje. My question is Jana Majuzi, the governor of Kirinyaga, Anne Waiguru, came out and he was apologizing to the people of Mount Kenya. And the reason as to why he was apologizing is because of the impeachment of Gachagua. They're saying that the Kenya Kwanza administration is getting a rough time. But even the president trying to penetrate into the Mount Kenya region. You have a party here and you're saying that your party for now is 60-40, but it will be 50-50 then. Yeah. And you're trying to still take away that narrative of the DCP.
Yeah.
Kwa mlima na power ya Gachagua mlimani, right? If a whole governor comes and says, we are sorry, yes, we get it. We wronged you by impeaching this guy. Yeah. We are sorry. Forgive us, right? E40. Mnasema
mnapigania
mkiwa nje.
Utapata kweli.
Utapata. And of course, kama wana acknowledge the impeachment.
Anyone who fails to acknowledge regarding his popularity would be a liar. Finish so that I can answer together.
On top of what Grace has talked about, we have also seen defections. Former chairperson for Kenya State Company and former Kirinyaga women representative Wangui Ngerechi. And he has defected from UDA and she's en route to DCP. We have Muranga Governor Irungu Kangata who has also defected from UDA, saying that he disagrees with the political strategy and the priority
Kiambu
by this party.
Well.
We have Kiambu Governor.
Yeah, they're all defecting
from Matangi. And if you listen to them clear, wanasema sisi tutasikiza nini? Ground. If you ukisikiza vizuri wanasema tutasikiza. They're implying that
but they are not implying that they will vie with the DCP. But like for example, I don't believe
so that from
Kangata will vie with
that
DCP.
plus what Grace has told you about Waiguru and her apology, saying that she understands the fury, the disappointment, the dissatisfaction from a section of Mount Kenya region electorate. Do you think that ukipata tiketi ya DCP, don't you think it's home and dry?
As I answer that, for me, I believe the person who should apologize to us is President Ruto. President Ruto hates Kenya. The fact that he went to appoint a running mate, he had Kindiki, he had Gachagua, and he went ahead and chose Gachagua against the will of the members of parliament from Mount Kenya region who voted for Kindiki, shows that he really is not a leader who embraces the opinions of the people. So the moment he appointed Rigathi, he should not they should not really come and apologize for voting for impeaching Rigathi, because they created the monster themselves. If Rigathi was never appointed running mate, and he has said that before I was appointed running mate, I was just a village guy from Madeira. Now, the likes of Oigoro are smelling the coffee and realizing we made a mistake. We need to realign ourselves. And Gachagua, being a strategic position, has run ahead of time and realized the people will be running against Ruto. The truth is, Rigathi found us in opposition. Whether they stayed together or not, we would have sent them home. So we would have probably had a new kingpin who would have developed, but he came and hijacked the process of us getting a new kingpin. He's a very strategic guy, so cunning. And we have to agree that's the case. The guy now has come and he has taken a huge chunk. The only reason he is not going to get 100% or 90% of elected seats is because of the revolution we started as the Gen Z people. The Gen Z revolution will challenge the issue of having a kingpin who tells us who to vote for.
Okay.
That is the only reason as to why I believe it is not that the PLP parties will be so powerful. It is the concept that the journey to change in Kenya will have begun, and the concept of kingpins telling Kenyans where to go. And you'll see it even in Rift Valley. Ruto will not have 90 or 100% of seats going to UDA. You'll start seeing other parties which may seem friendly to him getting,
but they are
winning. That is now going to be the beginning of a journey to a better Kenya. But it is not that the people who will be vying with these other positions in Mount Kenya will not align themselves with what Rigathi will be saying.
United opposition.
They will, and to be honest, let's say it will be what Rigathi Gachagua will be saying. You know, that
even
is what
these other parties will just,
even these other parties
will also follow.
they will also follow.
Yes.
But it will be because they will be all saying that we are sending Ruto home, and therefore they will be together,
United for a common enemy.
United for a common enemy. And the reality is, if he also goes and tries to bulldoze and say it is either DCP or nothing, then he is also going to risk offending his partners in the United Opposition, which we will also be. And so we will have a consensus and say, as partners, kila mtu, it's like the rest now in the Premier League. Kila mtu anaambiwa wewe, kila mtu ashinde match zake. Whoever wins wins. So it will be like that in the 2027 elections.
But how united will that be? Because we're also seeing that in this place that is also getting a by-election in Jubilee as Olkalau, right?
Yeah.
So say you're all these parties within the United Opposition are front candidates, but you're all united under one UDA candidate. Don't you think you guys are giving an easier through pass for
yeah,
UDA
and that's what I said. If you look at Jubilee, they have also, I don't know where they got the candidate, but they just went somewhere. I think they went to a joint, wakaingia tu bahali, wakasema pia si lazima tutoke na candidate, wakawekelea candidate. And but then we have to agree, Rigath's strategy is just too good. The guy went and did a proper nomination process, proper nomination exercise that has inspired hope in other aspirants from other regions. Jubilee decides to go to a boardroom, maybe make a few calls to a few political brokers in town. Ni nani huko alikuwa nasimama tunaweza pea chama.
Time yetu imeisha.
And they gave it. So the reality is but that's the reality that Rigathi Gachagua is ahead of time.
Yes.
But also in that election, maybe before then we will have come and made more predictions. But as well, UDA will give DCP a run.
Thank you so much, Stephen.
But maybe I would have
umesema tutagoja, umesema Emuru Adikil, UDA is winning. Or Karau?
Or Kalau DCP with not a huge margin as well.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, and I believe
it's a good conversation.
Utakuja.
Maybe I would have bidded goodbye to the people of Kenya. As a leader of the young people's movement, I lead a movement called the Gen Zote movement, a movement that believes that this election has to be a cross-generational conspiracy. It doesn't have to be Gen Zs voting their way. We have to come together in the next election and decide that we want to change Kenya. And I want to urge Kenyans to decide that it is time we shift from tribal and ethnic politics. It may be a journey, but there is hope. Let us keep going. Let us keep believing in a better future, in a better Kenya. And personally, I will be leading the movement for telling Kenyans that it is possible and inawezekana.
Asante. Grace.
Yeah, it was a very interesting conversation. It's just like the time was a bit nearly but
Limited.
Tutaongezewa time
unfiltered
na
remote hivyo.
Masharia.
Yeah.
Masha do something but it was a very sisi tunangoja tu muingie, you fight from within
Yeah.
for your 40%.
I think you will host me the day we make that declaration.
Yes, so
Yeah.
you tell us how
How we plan to do things.
yes, we are waiting to see
Yeah.
how we'll grab the 40% shares ama one.
Sisi tu nimekwambia tukiingia hivi
Muna
ina shoot.
kaende.
Yeah, so they should the likes of Mother Jubilee should be thankful.
Worried.
They should actually be grateful
Hey.
because when we come
That's it.
we will boost numbers.
Sawa.
Itakuwa ngori.
That's much.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Until next Thursday, I am Ndongo Gachane.
Unfiltered with Ndongo Gashane and Daniel Kariuki.